Alright, hello everyone. On this video I want to talk a little bit about solo playing. What that means is I have been playing solo for a little bit, almost like 2 weeks now, and I want to talk a little bit about the experience of playing solo. I'm aware it's very different from playing the start, so I just want to put on this video like information that you might want to know. If you want to play Throne and Liberty solo, for example, you don't want to interact with anyone, you want to be the like weeb solo leveling type of shit, like Kirito, I don't know. This game is not very good for that. You're gonna struggle to get like things done. You need to depend on other people to do things, even PvE things. So you're not gonna be able to be that single player type of MMO person. Even if you wanna do everything by yourself, you cannot. For most of the activities, if not every single one of them, you're gonna need to have a party or like play with random people and have some social, it's like that. But you can enjoy the game by yourself. You don't need to depend on like knowing people, having a static party. You can just play the game by yourself and have fun. So the things that are gonna be able to do mostly is just gonna be the smallest thing. You're not gonna be able to do like GVG content, of course. You're not gonna be able to do ZVZ content unless you put effort into like joining a big guild, following the meta, or like being a strong character and things like that, right? But as a solo player, you're gonna be able to have a lot of fun in some different types of content. For PvE, what you're gonna be doing is mostly gonna be the dungeons, right? Things like that. The raid, you can do all of that without needing to have a guild or be social. You just join random parties and just roll with it. While you're probably gonna struggle to complete the hardest difficulty, like Nightmare or even the hard difficulty on raids, for example, for everything else, you're gonna be able to complete. And for things, for example, right now we have the trials for this season, this week, on a really annoying dungeon. This dungeon can be really frustrating to play with randoms, so this is one of the difficulties that you're gonna face if you want to play just by yourself. But there are some ways, for example, even if you can make play a class that don't depend too much on others. For example, if you play Gladiator, which is the sword and spear, you can farm abyssal tokens by yourself, you can farm Nebula by yourself, and you're gonna, of course, not be doing that as fast as doing that in a party, but you can do it by yourself and you're gonna be doing just fine. The same can go for most of the one classes. If you wanna play Staff 1, Orb 1, you can use Vampiric Contract, which makes every time you do damage on a target that has a curse, you get healed for a percentage of the damage. That makes all types of content mega easy for PvE, for solo PvE. You're gonna be able to do your secret dungeons just fine, half illusion, anything you're gonna want to do. You're gonna be doing field bosses, everything perfectly fine just by playing by yourself. So there are ways that you can just enjoy the game without like needing to worry about other people, or like knowing making statics with other people. So the game is pretty playable for the casual, more singular player, let's say like that. And when it comes even to PvP, you can have some fun. There are Dominion events that happens all the time. For example, it's gonna happen soon, like Dominion event, where the teams are scrambled, so you can have some PvP by yourself. You can apply for Dominion bosses, which are just as well gonna put you in a random team and you're gonna fight. You can have some fun there. Currently, we got Battlegrounds, which is a 24 vs 24, so you can play by yourself here and you're gonna be doing fine. You're gonna face some statics that are gonna stomp you though, but most of the matches you're just gonna be fine and have fun by yourself. If you're playing one of the more viable classes for PvP, keep that in mind, okay? Because if you play just a PvE class, you're gonna struggle, but you can have some fun. You're definitely gonna want to be playing like Ravager, which is Great Sword Dagger, or Scorpion, which is Crossbow Dagger, or Spellblade, Step Dagger, whatever. You get it, you need a dagger. But yeah, so when it comes to playing single player, you can have like both PvE and PvP, and you're gonna be able to enjoy the game and have fun, but you're gonna be missing a lot of parts of the game. For example, playing harder content on PvE, playing through GVGs and fighting, building connections for ZVZs. You're gonna be missing a part of the loot of the game, but nothing that's gonna like make your character useless or like cut your progression entirely. You don't need to worry about that. If you're gonna play by yourself, you can progress your character just fine, and you can like achieve quite a bit just by playing casually by yourself. So on top of this note, I also want to include some specific things. If you're playing by yourself, for example, I'm playing with my own guild right now because I'm playing casually because my game is not being able to render frames in like GVGs and ZVZs for some reason. Uh, what you can do, for example, if you're by yourself, you can literally go to field bosses, or sorry, arc bosses, they are all open arc bosses, and try to sneak contribution for yourself. For example, I usually get around 1 to 3% contribution just playing by myself arc bosses. That looks like a low contribution, but when you take into consideration that's 1 to 3% chance just for yourself to drop something, that's pretty big. That's like the average chance you get on normal arc bosses, peace arc bosses. So you can play some large scale content by yourself. Just be aware that it's gonna depend a lot on the server that you play. For example, if you play on a server that doesn't have any conflict, it's gonna be way harder. But if you play on a server that has like a bunch of guilds fighting each other, you playing by yourself in the middle of the chaos can reach you can achieve a bunch of benefits. You can achieve, like I said, solo contribution by being sneaky, getting some damage in the boss and hiding out, like leaving the combat zone to the safe zone. On the siege, for example, you can try to sneak in and get like pillage points, like I already did. You can see on my channel I have 2 videos, one of sneaking contribution on the boss that I got 3%, and on the other one by sneaking pillage that I got like 5 or 6 pillage, which led me to like I think 600 700 Lucent and a lot of soloing. So you can do a lot of high-end like solo PvP, let's say like that. You can do a lot of fun things as a solo player, but there's a lot of limitations. I just wanted to make this video in case you're thinking of playing Throne and you don't want to play really like with a guild, you don't want to depend on a Zerg, you don't want to like have to socialize or have to find a static party to play the game, and just to show like talk a little bit about it. You can definitely do everything that you need to progress your character and to have fun in the game as a single player, but you're gonna be missing on parts of the game that you're gonna need to have either a static or like a guild or like even an alliance to play the content. But even with that, you should be able to like reach most of the loot in the game except a very specific part of the items. But even then, you can get those items by just grinding daily and having honestly RNG on like opening bags from the bullet, for example. But that's about it. The video was just to enlighten people that are thinking, oh, can I play this game solo? Do I need friends to play this game? Do I need to always be in a guild to play this game? And the answer is currently no, you really don't need all of that, but you're gonna be missing part of the game for sure if you don't have all of that. But that's about it. Thank you for watching. See ya.